Hey guys, how's everyone doing? I hope you're having a great day. And welcome to our next daily lesson. Today, for Algebra 2, we're talking about inverse functions. I know we kind of got into those when we kind of looked at relations and one-to-one type functions, but today we're just going to go over inverse functions and how you actually calculate or you come about an inverse function. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we want to define what an inverse function actually means. So essentially what it is a function that reverses another function and has a notation of f to the negative 1 of x. Okay, that's anytime you see this function right here or you see this nomenclature, that means it's an inverse function. Now, what does this mean when I say reverse? So just kind of give you an example. If we have y is equal to x plus 5, and I say I want to find the inverse function, so I need to reverse it. Okay, so that essentially means flip x and y, switch their locations. So now when I write this equation out, it should say x is equal to y plus 5. And now we have the inverse function. Now that's not the all you do. You have to actually solve for y, and that's what we'll get into in these we'll get into these next two problems. But that's about the gist of it, okay? They're pretty simple, pretty standard. Where it comes and it gets a little more difficulty is when you're actually trying to come about with some more complex style problems. But we'll get to those. So now we're going to actually try to solve for these inverse functions. So the first one we're going to try to do today is f of x is equal to 5x minus 7. So our first step is find the inverse f negative 1 of x. Find the inverse. So just switch x and y. So that means I'm going to take, so this form when I have to rewrite it, I know it says f of x, but remember f of x simply means y. So y is equal to 5x minus 7. And now we just need a switch. So I'm going to take this and put it there, and take that one and put it there, okay? So now my new equation should be x is equal to 5y minus 7. Now, that's not our final step. We actually need to solve for y now. So that's what we put for now. So we say solve for y, and that's our final step. So first thing we do, we want to get y by itself, so I need to get rid of any adding addition or subtraction values attached to it. So we're going to add 7 both sides. That goes away, and we're left with x plus 7 is equal to 5y. Okay, now we're still looking to get y by itself, and since this 5 is in front of it, we need to get rid of it. So I need to 5 by 5 on both sides, and then divide it into everything. Okay, this leaves me now with a function that says y is equal to, I'm just rewriting it, putting y in front, x plus 7 over 5. And now that we solve for y, that's actually our answer. So we come about our final answer being, I would take away y, put it in its notation, f negative 1 of x is equal to x plus 7 divided by 5. And that's it. Okay, pretty simple, pretty standard. Hey, nothing too difficult about that. So for us, let's look at a little more, difficult problem. Okay, and we'll kind of see how we solve this. Is that right? Okay. Am I going to be in the zone? We're just not going to focus in very well. Not going to focus in very well. There we go. That'll be better for us. Some days technology just does not like to work. I apologize. Yeah, that'll be good. Just my paper. So, once again, I want to find the inverse of this function. So, we say find the inverse. So, just switch x and switch x and y. So, I'm going to rewrite it in terms of y first. Y is equal to x plus 5 all squared plus 4. Now, I know some of you are going to try to take everything, just like you might have taken it up here when we had this equation that said 5x and moved that over here. You're just switching x and y. The only two variables that are switched are those two locations. That's it. You don't take anything in front, beside, addition, subtraction, nothing. You just take the x and y and you switch them. So that means when I take these and flip them around, I should have an equation that states now x is equal to y plus 5 squared plus 4. Okay? Now, our final thing for this one, we do say solve for y. So I need to get y by itself. So once again, the first thing we want to do is we want to get rid of any adding and subtracting. So I'm going to subtract 4 both sides. That leaves me with an equation now that says x minus 4 is equal to y plus 5 all squared. Now, in order to get y by itself here, I need to get rid of this squared portion for everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the square root now of both sides. Okay, when I take the square root of a squared, those two things cancel out, and you're left with something that says the square root of x minus 4 is equal to y plus 5. Now you're pretty much at the home stretch. We want to get y by itself, so you just subtract. Subtract 5 both sides. Now, very important, you cannot subtract negative 4 and negative 5. You can't subtract those two together because this negative 4 is inside the square root. You have to just put it on the outside. So when I put this equation out, I'll rewrite to y in front. Y is equal to the square root of x minus 4 all minus 5. And that's it. That'll be our answer. So now we're going to rewrite this in terms of our inverse function. So we'll say f to the negative 1 of x is equal to the square root of x minus 4 all minus 5. That's it. That's how we solve for inverse functions. Okay. Tomorrow we will learn how to what did I say? I think tomorrow we're going to learn about how to verify inverse functions. Okay, so you might not necessarily won't solve for it, but I'll give you two functions, and you're going to learn how to actually apply and whether they're inverse of each other or not. Okay. Once again, I hope you all have a great day. Sorry this is getting out a little later than I normally wanted to, but we're still getting it out. We're still going on, and make sure you're looking and you're keeping track of everything. Okay. I think maybe on Friday or maybe tomorrow, I can't really haven't decided yet. We're gonna have maybe a Google Meet just so you can answer any questions y'all have or anything like that. Just keep an eye out for it. But for now, guys, I hope you have a great day. I'll see you later.